Thursday, July the 14th, 2022, Bastille Day, vive la résistance et tout ça. And I'm down in the Surrey Hills, as you can see there, about to undertake a approximately 10-mile walk that needs updating from February 2010. So another one that I haven't done for a dozen years. This is one of the first ones I did, I recall. We're in the Surrey Hills stroke North Downs in Surrey. It's a bit overcast at the moment. Pleasant walking weather. Bit of a chill northerly breeze to deal with the average temperatures, low 20s. It's nothing like as hot as it's going to be at the weekend. But yeah, that's partly why I chose this walk today, because it's a tricky one to get at, actually, with the 2-hourly train service. Using my new rail pass, I was able to leave appropriately early enough to get here. It's now about 11:30, so should be done by 5:30ish. So as I say, let's crack on, see what awaits. I've vaguely got memories of this in the back of my mind, particularly Shere, the village of Shere. So let's see what pans out. This is one of those staggered stations again, platforms certain distance apart as opposed to opposite each other. And Gomshall has an interesting history behind it involving some beer. So if you want to look at the origins of this station on Google, do so, and you'll find out an interesting reason why the station is located where it is. Information panel here just outside the station. Passing St Augustine's Coptic Orthodox Church on my right here. Then crossing a busy road to pass under the railway line through this pedestrian tunnel, and then turn right almost immediately down River Wey, crossing over the Tilling Bourne, which has plenty of water in it, as you can hear, but not many have. So I saw in the news last night. No surprise there whatsoever. So just in front of Twigger Lodge there's a farm track on the other side of this hedge. We follow this bridleway here, passing under the railway line again, with a rare train about to pass over. Passing Gomshall bus stop, book swap. Our onward journey here is following the sign to Guildford, our ultimate destination, if I didn't mention that earlier. We are following Shere Parish Millennium Trail, now down along Gravel Pits Lane. Which also seems to be NCN 22. Decent vista on my right as I proceed. And I think that's Netley Manor House over there, in amongst the trees, referred to in the text, which I'm still using. Point 11 of the text here, thereabouts. Very pleasant bridleway walking. Now we're out of Gomshall. Shears Church, Albury Park Church, I do believe. Well, in fact it was St James's Shere, so my first guess was right, and we're just over a mile in now. So here we are, St James's Shere. Let's have a quick butcher's inside. So here we are. Quite warm in here for a church actually. Quite modern in its approach, eh? Yep, do remember this place, as I suspected I would. Village sign here at Shere. So this old building here used to be the old fire station apparently, and is now a very convenient convenience. So good location. It's the main street. Crossing the Tilling Bourne again. You've got the White Horse pub up there, and we're now going down Lower Street here, passing the old prison house on my left here. Very pleasant allotments on my right, next to the Tilling Bourne. Good local organic produce. You don't turn right here with the ford and footbridge. But continue straight on into the woodland here. And pleasingly cool within it, it is. There's no longer any indication here that this is Vickys Gate per the text, but I guess it is, or was. Oh, here we are. I was a bit premature with the other gate. This is Vickys Gate, and on my right, as you can hear, is the Tilling Bourne with a bridge over it, and that's the Albury Park option that you are able to take if you so wish. That would make a walk of about 11.5 miles if you do that variation. So there you go. I'm going to stick to the original route that I did 12 years ago, just for comparison, which is continuing past this van half left. Through this kissing gate into Albury Park now. Looking back whence I've come. Can just about hear some jet noise in the background, which of course will be Gatwick, in amongst all the mayhem at that airport now. Plenty of buzzards, I presume, making mewing sounds in that woodland. Probably youngsters. Not much other bird song though, as you'd likely imagine. There is one of the buzzards. And a noisy biplane to go with it. Further decent vista back. Very good surfaces underfoot thus far. It's like walking on a beach. But look how parched everywhere is, that's the problem. Okay, the Albury Park option joins us here, just outside South Lodge. So that extra mile and a half would bring you back to this point, and we continue straight on there across this road along the earth track. This is the William IV, the recommended lunchtime stop. Bit of a shindig occurring this weekend at Albury. Music and produce. And I noticed Surrey County Council hasn't decimated its road verges here. Good to see. Little London is clearly the road I'm walking along as we pass under the railway line once again. So, according to a young lady I was just talking to who was coming out of this place, it's no longer Surrey Hacking Park and Ride, so that's why the sign went missing in 2021, November. But I am now on the Fox Way apparently. Point 26 of the text. Well, it's certainly horsey country. I've already seen a notice outside someone's house earlier for as a horse nutritionist in the village of Albury Heath there. About to enter Woodland, which will be nice. As is this cool breeze, which you might be able to hear on commentary now. It's picking up a bit. So we're just about to enter a woodland called Blackheath, and within it there is a monastery, not a monastery, a friary I think it is, where I hope to have my lunch. It's 1 o'clock now. So we're on track, literally. Further views back from the entrance to the wood. And the railway line's just over there, it's never far away. And interestingly, there was a shortage of rolling stock today because of too many engines requiring attention. Or words to that effect. So even though it's not a strike day, the RMT are not particularly making travelling life on the railways very easy. Anyway, my train wasn't affected luckily, but some unfortunates may have that issue. Absolutely wonderful. It's a pine woodland, and the pine in this hot weather is sweating a bit. Lovely aroma. Gets rid of all the BA4-5 COVID issues. It's the way to do it. Never mind non-functional vaccinations. Get some fresh air in your lungs. Plenty of vitamin D and C. Bob's your uncle. Point 31 of the text, we go over our first style of the day, alongside some crocheting here. Now if you're going to install a style and that's the only means of getting over a fence, it has to be a good one, and this one is solid in every way. No risk to your health and safety there. Good hand holds as well. Well done. Straight on at post 235. Voila. Okay, we're now at the road junction referred to in the text, where the trees are now predominantly birch, and we're looking for the second left at this roundabout apparently. So, having established I'm on the right track, we come out opposite these timber stacks, which are also giving off a lovely aroma. There's a lesser spotted woodpecker over there, but I can't get it on camera. Sun's in my eyes. But the warning note, that's what tells me what it is. Not so common now, lesser spotted woodpeckers. Like so many of our birds, eh? Good to see the heather out in the openings. Sure there's going to be some rare reptiles here. Sand lizard possibly. Smooth snake. Yeah. I did see a dead smooth snake once in the Surrey Hills, but I can't remember which walk it was on, so you never know. I'd like to see a live one though. Information panel here. Information panel here about Blackheath Common, and as you can see, apparently there are Dartford warblers in here, and as I mentioned, sand lizards. Can't see a smooth snake though. Anyway, Google this place if you're interested. So leaving the common through this gap here next to this metal filled gate, through the car park. When I last did this walk, this cottage, Queen Victoria Cottage, used to be the villagers' pub. And if I'm not mistaken, though I didn't watch the old video on the way down this time, so I can't be sure, it started snowing at this point when I did it in February 2010, and I had to use this car park for my lunchtime stop, sitting on their garden tables. Pretty sure this is where that happened, the villagers' pub. What a shame that's gone, eh? Another victim. Now, as I continue to say, I have yet to see an adder. Quite unbelievable really. Don't want to see any dog nappers though. So this footpath is almost immediately next to the old pub car park. Now what have we here? Is that a slow worm or a smooth snake? I think that's a slow worm. So I'm getting warm. Yeah, I got you mate, you beady eye. Well disguised there on the path. We're now on the Downslink, which is self-explanatory. Walking downhill gently. Walking down this wonderful cut-in now. Approaching the village of Chilworth, or nearby it, having already passed, unbeknownst to me, the Greyfriars Monastery, which wasn't directly on our route today. So I'll need to grab an appropriate position for lunch now. It's 2 o'clock. Look at that wonderful electric blue, not sure if it's a chaser, a darter. Don't think it's a dragonfly. Wings are too big, look at it. Absolutely wonderful. Can't get in too close because it gets blurry. So we must be getting near some water, I'd have thought. Look at those wings. Magnificent blue colour. Point 44 of the text. We do a right here, but there's no longer any three-armed footpath post. Across Woodland Common. Yeah, the path is still navigable, but the three-armed finger post is no longer there, and it's directing you to the main road. Albeit that the finger post is still at this end, the road end of that path. So maybe they're trying to reroute you. Anyway, our onward journey's across there on the Downslink path. So that is point 46 of the text. Passing an algae covered pond on my left. So there you go, in 305 metres the South Downs Way starts. Must be its northern extremity. Amazing. So at point 48 I'm going to go and take a look at the tower, Chinthurst Tower, a Folly, in the hope that there might be somewhere to eat up there for me. Got to have lunch. So there's the Folly, and very close by a picnic table. And also a bench and some kind of trig point or viewpoint marker. We'll get those after lunch. There's a better angle of it. Chinthurst, Chint, C-H-I-N-T, Hurst, Hill, Folly. Now, usually I film a memorial on the back of the chair, but today we've got one on this table, which is very good of you, Mr. Beavers. Much appreciated. Just what the doctor ordered. And there is a fantastic vista out there and some lovely tranquility at the moment. Let's hope it stays that way for the duration of my lunch. It's around 387 foot high here, 2:30, and 6.3 mile into the walk. So 2/3 of the way in, without realising it. 3 o'clock, lunch has been had, and I wonder if this poor chap, dying in March 2020, had the ignominy of being recorded as a COVID victim, when in fact he might have had something else. Poor fella. God rest his soul. And just over there in the far distance on the horizon is the South Downs. Wonderful. So by all accounts the Folly was built in the 30s, so nearly a century old. Information panel here about Chinthurst Hill, which, as I say, you can Google if you want to learn more. It's a nature reserve, Surrey County Council. So here we are rejoining the main walk, which comes from my right here. So this is if I hadn't done Chinthurst Hill Tower. And the onward journey is left down Tannery Lane, crossing over a disused tunnel here of either water or rail. I'd imagine it was a canal. Find out in a minute, because we're about to join the River Wey, W-E-Y. That gives us some idea, I guess. Yeah, totally agree with that. Let's make that road safer. Interesting memorial here next to what looks like a new footbridge to a little picnic area at the end, a couple of picnic tables. And I do remember this. This is a former railway line, pretty certain of it, as we approach the busy A281 ahead. That's certainly new, nothing in it though. And that wasn't there either. So I need to get across the A281 and then I shall continue following this old railway line, the cycle track. So there you have it, Shoreham, where I was a couple of weeks ago, 33.5 mile hence on the Downslink. So I don't know if this was here last time I did this walk, but I'm doing it anyway because I think it's safer. But I'll have to look at my old video to see if I turned right along the A281 or carried on straight along here. Crossing over the Wey. Point 57, you could easily turn right, come down this slope and meet a wooden kissing gate now, not a metal one, unless I've gone wrong. Approaching the road bridge for the A248. Didn't realise that was National Trust land. River Wey navigations, as you can see. Now interestingly, this is all coming back to me. I walked the other riverbank. I do remember now. So what I've done today is good because it's new terrain. Now on the River Wey and Godalming navigations. Yeah, I remember this now as well. Amazing how it comes back to you after 12 years. So here you have the River Wey Navigations railway line walk. Pillbox up on the former rail line by the looks of it. Passing under a rail line, whether it's active or not I'm not sure. But very shortly I'm going to encounter a problem per the comments page of this walk. Somebody walked it in June and one of the bridges was still closed. So let's see if we can get around that or if it's reopened now. Passing St Catherine's Lock, opened in 1764. wonderfully peaceful. Just the occasional train in the background and the odd barge, canal boat passing on the right, pleasure boats. No bird song, very little. Haven't even heard a chiff chaff today. So here we go, the edges of Guildford. I was just talking to some kids jumping off one of the bridges behind me, and they reckon you can still get through on this side of the river. So let's find out. So the footpath is still closed. There's your diversion. But this looks like it's been going on for months. I can't see why. They're doing something further on by the looks of it there. So point 66 of the text, still closed, and that lady seems to have the alternative route. Cross over the bridge that I saw the kids jumping from and walk on that side of the towpath, or follow the diversion given here. Not much road walking by the looks of it. So the diversion is essentially St Catherine's footpath. Then down Porridge Pot Alley, and you're back next to the river and the Britannia pub. Passing the White House pub, which is next to a church as per usual. Bit of a conundrum there. This one being St Nicholas, Guildford. The official tea stop is the Eve Arno Theatre, which is just over the bridge on my right here. Then opposite the 1913 electricity works, do a left up here for the station, and memory tells me that there's not very good scenery around the station, so not a good place to film. So here we are at Guildford Station. Unfortunately, after lunch I forgot to set my or reset my GPS, so I don't know exactly how many miles I've done. That was stopped, as I said earlier, at around 6.5 miles. A walk's officially around 10, and I've added a hill walk onto that, so I reckon I've done about 10.5 today. Very nice walk actually, and some nice variety in it between the downs and the canal side walking. Weather held out very nicely, no qualms there. And even the trains ran, which surprised me earlier this morning. I thought I might have a problem, but obviously not. Surfaces were good for me today because it's so bone dry at the minute. But looking at the canals, isn't it such a big shame we can't navigate water from the wetter parts of the country to the drier parts? It could be so easily done, and for a fraction of the cost of HS2. Likewise, desalinate the sea. We are crying out for water, yet there's no brain power, it seems, in government to do it. It's not that expensive compared to white elephants like HS2. So that's my parting thought for the day. So that's book 1, walk 14, Gomshall to Guildford, completed once again. Take care of yourselves. Till the next time. as a final point, I could have put in the extra option, taking it up to around 11.5 miles, because like I say, it's only 4:45 now, so I wouldn't have added much on. Till the next time.